Hello friends, in this video we will start with analog to digital converter and we are going to start with the very first type, that is counter type ADC. So let's start with counter type ADC. The very important element in this counter type ADC is comparator. So first of all, we'll understand how this comparator works. As the name implied, it is going to compare two signals, and depending on that, the value of P, which is, as you can see in the figure, that is output of comparator, can give you either logic 1 or logic 0. So here on non-inverting terminal, as you can see, Vin will be applied. On inverting terminal, Vd is applied, which is nothing but output of DAC. Vin and Vd after comparison will give you proper output, that is P. So here if Vin is greater than Vd, then P is equal to logic 1. If Vin is less than or equal to Vd, then we consider the value of P, that is comparator output, equal to 0. As you can see, output of comparator is given to one of the input of the AND gate. As you can see here, this is AND gate. One of the value is P here, and P can be either 1 or 0. Imagine if P is equal to 1, one of the input of AND gate connected to 1, output will be same as the other one. So as you can see, if 1 is provided here, so AND gate takes the product, so 1 into clock gives you clock. If clock is given, this counter starts running, because at every application of clock, this counter is basically up counter which keeps on incrementing itself. Initially, it is reset to 0 with the help of this reset signal. At some point of time, when P will become 0, then what is going to happen? In AND gate, if one of the input is fixed to 0, then output is by default 0 irrespective what is given. Or in other words, I can make you understand like this: AND gate gives you product. So 0 multiplied by anything gives you what? 0. In case if no clock is given, if 0 is given, then counter will stop working. If counter stops working, then counter will get freeze. Freeze means it will give you a particular count, and that count is taken as a digital output. So the output of this ADC is always displayed on counter, which is directly taken as digital output. Now let us understand the working. First of all, ADC is a device which is going to take input voltage as a data and gives you output as digital data. So basically it is voltage to data converter. So input is voltage, output is data. So as you can see here, this Vin is a input voltage that we are applying as an input of ADC, and after a huge process, whatever displayed as a digital output on a counter will be considered as ADC output. So now we will see how it works. For that purpose, I have to take some example of Vin value. Let us consider the value of Vin is, let's say, 4.2 volt. Fine. Now what is going to happen? Initially, with the help of reset, the counter value is set to all zeros. So what digital output you are supposed to get is all zeros. So all zeros is the output right now, or you can say it is all binary zeros. It is taken by DAC. What DAC stands for? Digital to analog converter, which takes digital data as input and gives you voltage as output. Therefore, let us assume in response to all zeros as input, Vd is now equal to 0 volt. Is that right? So now Vin as well as Vd is output as received from DAC output. 4.2 volt and 0 volt are now compared with the help of comparator. As you can see that 4.2 volt is greater than Vd, that is Vin greater than Vd, therefore P value becomes 1. The moment P value equal to 1, can I say that AND gate is enabled and a clock is provided to counter. In response to the first clock, counter gets incremented by 1, and let's say the value is all zeros and then 1. Assuming now all zeros and 1, because of that, let's say the Vd output is now increased to, let's say, 1 volt. Again 4.2 volt is compared with 1 volt. Again you can see Vin is greater than 1 volt, that is Vin greater than Vd, therefore P will remain 1. The next clock is given to the counter again increments by 1. So let's say the next count is 00010. Now let's say 0, 0, 0, 1, 0 is the input of DAC, in response to which it, let's say, gives you 2 volt. Again 2 volt is compared with 4.2 volt. We find that Vin still greater than Vd. Therefore P remains 1. Next clock is given, counter keeps on incrementing, and this is going to happen until and unless the value of counter goes to 0. Is that right? Because until and unless the value of comparator is equal to 1, AND gate is enabled, still clock pulses are given and counter keeps on incrementing itself. Is that right? So let us assume after such few increments, let's say counter has reached to 4 volt. Now 4.2 is now compared with 4. What do you think? Who is more this time? Of course, still Vin is greater than Vd. In effect, P remains 1. Again AND gate is enabled. Clock is given further. Counter is incremented by 1. So counter value incremented by 1. Let's say the value of new DAC is 5 volt. Now 5 volt is compared with 4.2 volt. This time Vin is lesser as compared to Vd. So this is first time happened, which makes P equal to 0. Is that right? If you remember, for a comparator there are only two outputs possible, positive saturation and negative saturation. So we consider positive saturation as 1 and negative saturation as logic 0. This time when P equal to 0 and gets disabled, counter stops working. So in a way we can say that the current value on the counter gets freeze, and that freezed value is considered as a final digital output. So I can now say that, let's say digital output is equal to what? 5 volt. As you can see, I have written a formula here which says ADC output is equal to Ceil function of Vin divided by step size. So I'll just elaborate this formula. So the formula says it is ADC output, it was Ceil function of Vin upon step size. Now to be very precise, it is actually a step size of DAC. Remember that every ADC has internal DAC. So this step size refers to step size of DAC. I'm sure you remember how to get the step size for DAC. It is nothing but full scale output voltage divided by number of steps. That is VFSO, that is full scale output voltage divided by 2 raised to n minus 1. That gives you number of steps by which you can get step size, right? So by using this formula, one can get ADC output, provided you know that for ADC input is voltage input. That voltage input you have to substitute here, divided by step size of the DAC which is inside ADC, and if you take a ratio of it, you have to take a Ceil function of it and you get ADC output. So you may get wondered, sir, what is meant by Ceil function? Actually, to approximate the final answer, you have two types of function. One is called as a Ceil function, the other one is called as a floor function. Ceil function refers to a word ceiling and floor function refers to the word normal floor. For example, if you have, let's say, data as 4.2, then 4.2 is lying between two integers, that is 4 and 5. So if I take Ceil function, then I have to refer to the above value. So 4.2 is approximated as 5 when it comes to Ceil function. But if I am going for floor function, then 4.2 is approximated as 4 only. So I'm sure you now understood it. So whenever you have these floating point numbers, you have to convert it into complete integer number or a complete number, and to do so you got two types of function. One is called as a floor function, the other one is called as a Ceil function. So I can give you more examples. Let's say you have 5.9. So 5.9, if you take a Ceil function, it will be 6. But if you take floor function of 5.9, even though it is taken as 5, because 5.9 is a number lying between two integers 5 and 6. 5 is a floor and 6 is a Ceil. So whenever you do so, you have to be just careful. So to calculate ADC output, as I said, Vin voltage as well as step size must be known to you. This step size is a step size of DAC which is integral part of ADC. And how to get step size? Step size is always full scale voltage divided by 2 raised to n minus 1. So the denominator below gives you what? It gives you number of steps. So if you do so, you will get step size also. Remember that step size never refers to the step size of ADC. There is nothing called as step size of ADC. Step size always refers to step size of DAC only, right? So now student generally ask me, sir, how to remember this formula? I mean, ADC output equal to ceil function of V in upon step size, because it is quite difficult for you to remember so many things, right? So I'll give you a trick to remember this. If you are comfortable with DAC, at least you try to remember the formula of DAC. DAC formula means I'm trying to relate output with input. I'm sure you remember that. How do we write DAC output? DAC is a device which takes digital data as input and gives you voltage as output. Is that right? So output voltage is equal to input data to the base 10 multiplied by step size. This was the formula, am I right? This is the formula of DAC. I would say the output of DAC is analog in nature. Is that right? So this is analog data. This is nothing but your digital data. So digital data multiplied by step size is analog data. Is that right? So now if I want reverse, because what I'm now learning is ADC, and what ADC stands for? Analog to digital converter, which will have input as now analog and output as digital. So just rearrange the above formula. Can I now say that the digital data is equal to analog data divided by step size? Is that right? But ultimately, what is analog data? Your analog data is nothing but voltage, right? So can I replace analog voltage with V in? So V in divided by what? Step size gives you what? A digital data. This is nothing but your formula. This is ADC output is equal to V in upon step size. But then the problem is, when you want ADC output, it has to be a complete number. It might happen that V in and step size are not exactly dividing each other. That is, it is not giving you a complete integer. Then it is your duty to take either a ceil function or floor function. But then again, it depends upon the type of ADC that you are using. If you are using counter type of ADC, then only you will have ceil function. Otherwise, you refer to a floor function, that as we will see in the next lecture also. So this is how you should remember the formula. Now we will solve one problem based on this. The question is displayed on the screen. In the following circuit, the comparator output is logic 1 if V in greater than VDAC and logic 0 otherwise. Let us see the circuit. This is circuit given. If you see it carefully, this circuit is nothing but counter type ADC. So this is actually a counter type ADC only. So let us go back to the question and see. So if V in greater than VDAC, if you remember VDAC is the output of DAC, then only output is logic 1. Yes, we have studied the similar way, and for less than and equal to relation, we get logic 0 as output, right? D to A conversion is done as per relation, and they have given you a formula for VDAC. Remember, every DAC takes input as what and output as what. You have to remember this. Input is what? A data, and output is what? A voltage. So if you want to write a formula which is related to DAC, your voltage should be expressed in terms of data. So as you can see, some formula is given where voltage is expressed in terms of data. You can see that. Otherwise, we have a standard formula to refer, but in case if they have provided a formula their own, it is again your duty to refer the same formula again. So what they say, B3 is MSB, B2 B1 and B0 is LSB of the counter output, right? So you know that DAC is driven by the counter, as we have already seen in the last diagram. The counter starts from the clear state, it's fine. The stable reading of the LED display is whether it is 6, 7, 12 or 13. So again, let's go back to the diagram here. You can see that input voltage provided is 6.2 volt. Is that right? And then you have to identify what is displayed on this display. I mean, what is a stable display? Stable display means the end output. And as you can see, the all arrangement is quite similar to counter type ADC that we have already seen, with some minor changes here, but it doesn't matter. The working of the previous diagram and this diagram is exactly same. There is absolutely no difference, fine. So as you can see here, we used to consider this output as 5. we used to call this as VD, we used to call this as Vin, which is now also indicated as Vin. This VD is just notation is changed, that is VDAC, that is output of DAC. Is that right? And output P was controlling AND gate, where one of the input of AND gate was clock itself. So this clock is either provided at output or not provided, that depends upon the status of P. If P value equal to 0, AND gate is enabled, clock is given, up counter starts working, and accordingly we get exact output. Is that right? So as we have already seen, at output of counter only the digital output is taken. So now we have a straightaway formula. Let us use it. For ADC, don't forget, input is voltage, output is data, and data is equal to, that is output data is equal to Ceil function of V in divided by step size. Is that right? So this is equal to Ceil function of, what is V in provided? You can see in the diagram, V in is equal to 6.2 volt. So this is 6.2 volt divided by step size. So you know that step size you have to always calculate for DAC. Is that right? So now let us calculate step size. If we are able to calculate step size, then in single step only we got the output then. So let us try to calculate step size of DAC. So how do we get step size of DAC? So step size of DAC is given as full scale output voltage possible divided by 2 raised to n minus 1, where n is size of DAC. As you can see, DAC is driven by 4-bit up counter. In fact, it is specified that it is 4-bit DAC here. Therefore, the value of n is equal to 4 for sure. So divided by, it is 2 raised to 4 minus 1, and what we have in the numerator is full scale output voltage. Now the question is, did they specify full scale output voltage in the question? If you read the question carefully, you will find that no full scale output voltage is given. If no full scale output voltage is given, you cannot even assume it, right? So now the problem is, if this is a question mark for us, we cannot calculate step size of DAC, and if step size of DAC is not known to us, we cannot find what is the denominator here, and if we are not able to find the denominator, we will not get our answer. So now this is a problem, that here step size cannot be calculated for DAC because full scale output voltage is not provided in the question. You can refer the question, you can read the question, you will come to know full scale output voltage is not given. So what is to be done now? So if you have seen the lectures carefully, that is specifications of DAC, in that I told you to calculate step size, you have two ways to do this. First way that I have shown over here, step size is equal to full scale output voltage divided by number of steps. Number of steps are known to me, but full scale output voltage, if it is not known to me, this formula is useless for me. So we have to go other way around. If you remember, step size is also defined as a smallest change in output possible, or smallest possible change in output. This is what we call as step size. Or I have also defined step size is nothing but output which is generated for inputs as all zeros and with LSB equal to 1. Meaning that if I have a 4-bit DAC, like this, and if I apply input as 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, where 1 is LSB here and this is MSB, in that case the output voltage is called as a resolution, and this resolution is also called as a step size. So anyhow, I want to get now step size or as a resolution, then this is the only way to do this. So can I say that value of B3, B2, B1, B0 is 0, 0, 0, 1, for which I have to get a step size. Is that right? Or I have to get the value of V0. So if you remember in the question, the relation between VDAC and input data was already provided. Let us see that. I have highlighted that formula. VDAC equal to summation n equal to 0 to 3, 2 to the power n minus 1 Bn. So this relation is already given. let us write this relation and let us expand it, and then we will solve this and we will get the answer. So it is summation n equal to 0 to 3 2 raised to n minus 1 bn. Is that right? So here n will be varied from 0 to 3 and we'll make a summation out of it. So first of all, substitute n equal to 0. This will give you 2 to the power minus 1 b naught plus, then I substitute n equal to 1, which makes this as 2 to the power 0 b1 plus n equal to 2. If you substitute, you will get 2 to the power 1 dot b2, and finally when I substitute n equal to 3, then it is 2 square dot b3. Is that right? So value of b3, b2, b1 is 0 0 0. Therefore this will become 0, this will become 0, this will become 0. Only b naught value equal to 1, and 2 to the power minus 1 is what? 1 by 2. Therefore I can say that the VDAC value is now 0.5. And remember, this is what we called as a resolution, or you can say this is also called as a step size. Finally, we now know what is a step size, because that was the only problem that we weren't know what was the step size, and because of that we was and because of that we were unable to find the output voltage. So here the formula was output data was equal to, it was the Ceil function of V in upon step size. Therefore it is a Ceil function of, so V in was 6.2 divided by step size was 0.5. Now it gives you Ceil of 12.4. So what is the ceiling function for 12.4? 12.4 is a number lying between integer 12 and 13, right? So ceiling function can be taken as 13 for this. So this is the output data, which is 13. So the question is, the counter starts from clear state. The stable reading on the LED display is, what is the answer? It is 13. As you can see that on LED display what we get is output, and output was 13. So we'll get of course 13 as output. So I'm sure you understood this problem. Just keep your concepts of everything, that is ADC as well as DAC, very clear. Try to understand what is meant by steps, what are number of steps, what is the step size, then this topic becomes very easy. Thank you.